Hello, everyone, and welcome to the UK Tax Filing and Secretarial Matters course discussion session and a guidance for you all. In this session, I have Mustafa with me. Mustafa Mirchawala is one of the top tutor of UK Taxation. He's joining us, and with us we have Mr. Afnan Ahmed, who is running a tax firm in UK, and he's also a great tutor and a tax expert. So, first of all, I'll welcome Mustafa and Afnan. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
Thank you.
The objective of this session is to guide the students about the careers they can pursue in relation to the UK taxation, uh, especially those students who are doing ACCA and they have just studied the TX, the skills module text, and the advanced taxation exam of the professional level module. But this course is for everyone, and this is designed in such a way that a student who do not have any background can also join this course. We are keeping our medium of communication as English because we have individuals attending this session and this course throughout the globe, as Mirchawala Institute has been serving in 60 plus countries. Now, if I talk about the objective of designing these UK taxation course, and we have taxation course of US, UAE, the objective is to enable the students and the candidates to work in these outsourcing firms to make them self-employable and to do these freelancing services also. Because when we talk about the students, especially living in the developing countries like Pakistan, India, Nepal, in all of these countries, the students are looking for some earning opportunities or some possibilities to increase their profile to make them self-employable. So these courses are specially designed with that objective. And I always say that while designing these courses, we are not looking at any course outline. Our objective is to increase the chances of a student getting employable. So these courses are designed after a lot of consultation with the employers. Now, first of all, I'll request Mustafa to guide the students that why they should be joining this course, and then we'll be discussing so on, and we'll also be taking some questions of the individuals who are attending this session so that you guys can have an idea that how exactly this course is about and why is it important for you guys to learn these practical tax filing courses. Mustafa, please
Thank
brief
you, Wes.
our students about this.
Thank you. We have like two types of students coming in this course. One is the ACCA students who are doing TX or ATX, and the other are fresh university graduates or A-level students or O-level students. Anybody can join. Okay. So let me first discuss about the ACCA students because we have a big quantity of ACCA students doing ACCA, right? So in ACCA TX course and ATX course, we are teaching taxation concepts in detail. Like we have individual tax computation, pensions, CGT, inheritance tax, value added tax, everything is there. But there is one thing which is lacking, and that is the use of software, that is the return filing, that is the use of website practically. So this was the idea of Sir Owais that when students are giving like 100 hours or 150 hours or like one quarter properly on the TX course, why not they learn the practical skills as well so that they become employable in the UK. Now, one very important thing. Let me share you one real story of a student of last week, that there is a difference in economy between like these developing economies and developed economies, difference in salaries. Uh, Last week I visited Riyadh and I attended a finance fair. Like 24 firms, audit firms or accountancy firm, they went there to get some business, right? So that they start BPO services. So there I met one of my student, and he used to be my student in 2011, and he is a very good friend of mine as well, very nice student. So like 3 years back, 2021, in 2021, he was earning around 200K, 200,000 PKR or like 250,000 PKR. At that time, he told me, sir, I want to work for a BPO. So I arranged one interview of US firm. So that US firm, I think, offered him 350K. 350K Pakistani means like it's around 1200 US dollars. But he didn't join that firm. Then after 1 year, that means in 2022, he traveled to Riyadh and he shifted to Riyadh. And you know what? In just 2 years time, like in 2024, we are in 2024 December. He's making more than 25,000 Saudi Riyal. Now just think the difference of salaries between a developing country and a developed country. So it's 25,000 Saudi Riyal means like five, seven, six to seven times, 6 to 7 times of the existing salary in 2 years. So he himself told me, sir, I never thought this salary in my dream. So if you guys shift from developing to developed economy, like you learn these courses and you start giving services to developed economies, you can bring a big change in your income, in your standard of living, in your society as well.
See, here I will completely agree with Mustafa. And for those who don't know the meaning of this BPO, see, globally, this word business process outsourcing, BPO, is growing a lot. See, when you talk about the developed countries where they are earning heavy, like their revenues are in dollars, pounds, so they have to incur the expenses also in those currency. So what they do is that they outsource their services to developing countries, like many UK based companies, US based companies. They have outsourced their services to Pakistan, India, because in all of these countries, the labor is completely cheaper. Okay. Now, by labor, I do not mean those factory workers. By labor, I means the human resource. It's comparatively cheaper. Like, for example, if we talk about a normal accountant who at a startup level may be willing to work for like 300 or 400 US dollars. If we convert the PKR salary in dollars, it's like that. But in US or in UK, they have to pay a lot to an accountant. So they outsource their work. So this outsource concept is growing a lot, especially in Gulf, in US, in UK, in entire European side. So if you make yourself employable, see, now what students do is that, okay, we have the knowledge, we have done the chartered accountancy, they don't spend time in gaining these practical skills. Now, I would like to invite and request Afnan also to share his experience. But before requesting, let me brief about him. I remember 10 years back, Afnan used to teach at Mirchawala Institute in on-campus study, and then he shifted to UK. And his story is a real inspiration, like how he has settled in UK, how he developed his own firm. And believe me, when I talk to him for some time, I'm in that zone that I want to go to UK. Like I want to apply for immigration. That like you cannot compare the earning levels, you cannot compare the lifestyle, you cannot compare the growth opportunities. Obviously, those are the big economic hubs. And those students who are doing these ACCA, ICW, these international accountancy qualification, obviously they have the greatest opportunity to move there or do the outsourcing services. So, Afnan, I would like to request that you guide the individuals, the students, and bring them in that zone that, okay, if you want to go to UK now, or at least start to provide these outsourcing services.
Sure. First of all, thank you everyone who have joined this recorded session. Um, Everyone who is a listener here in this video and everyone who will be listening through different social media platforms, taking our time this Sunday. Well, the question Owais raised is extremely important. Why it is important to be part of this whole session or be part of this course. How does it help? As Mustafa Mirchawala touched on a lot of the things which I wanted to mention, like what we are studying and how it helps you when you learn the software, etc. What this course provides is the USP of this course. The third element which we have provided in this course are the softer and harder skills to be able to run the business. So when me and Owais were designing this course, Owais came up to me with an idea that I want to help students who have learned through the textbook how the taxation works. But how would I actually persuade them to convert that knowledge into the pound value, which is an extremely important question. Whatever you know, how can you convert that into dollar or pounds? So I turned up and told Owais, there are many people out there who are doing such courses, but there's not a single one who will tell you about the third side, which is the third element of this whole firm, how to run your own firm, how to operate within this environment. So we've embedded about 3 hours of learning sessions, how to operate a firm and how to acquire a customer, how to speak to a customer, what you need when you're running your own firm, and what to be vigilant of, and what will help you boost your own skill set to the client, and what sort of a clients you need to initially take and step back, and then what sort of a clients you need to target, etc. Having said that, I totally agree myself. I've never worked in a firm, just to let you know, right? I've never ever done a taxation exam, but here I am earning money from it, running my household. And this is the best example. Like, if I have not done taxation ATS exam as a professional exam, and I've also not worked in any of the firms, forget about Big Four. I've never worked in any small, tiny firms either, right? But there's an opportunity. You have got a skill set. There's a gap in the market. You go in there. Debit will never change. Debit will never become a credit, or credit will never become a debit, right? That's the fundamentals you need to know. You are there to help the client close this set of accounts. And that's what I do on a daily basis, help them through their taxation returns. I read about it. I did a lot of research, um, built up that trust level in the market. And now with the clientele, some of the client came to me last week, two clients, and their submission was really close. So I had to delay it or cancel the engagement because I couldn't take on more clients with the current resource set. So that's where we are. So there's an opportunity out there. How much and how to get it, we will talk later in this session, but I'll hand over to Wes.
See, here I want to highlight one thing, that when we talk about UK, the filing deadline is very near. Like on 31st of January, the filing deadline for individuals is trending. So there will be a really good opportunity. See, when we talk and when we especially talk about UK, where everyone has to file tax, not like Pakistan, where very less people file the tax. So in the economies like UK, US, UAE, where everyone has to do the filing, there's a great opportunity of these courses. And I always say that, see, if you just have a qualification, like, okay, like many students say that, okay, sir, we have done ECCA, we have done CA, we have done ICW. What other courses we should do to increase our chances to become employable? So just think as an employer, a fresh candidate coming to you, and he just knows the book. And there is one more candidate who has a certificate, who has a recognition. He says that, okay, I have a course done and I know how to use the HMRC portal. I know how to use the company's house portal. So automatically, as an employer, you will be more than willing to hire that guy. And in this course specifically, like many people ask me that, sir, do you guys guide that how to get a client? Do you guys guide that how we'll get a job? Is there any guarantee? So I always say that, sir, that see, there is no guarantee that you'll get a work. But as a trainer of the course, we have done our maximum to make sure that you learn those things. Like Afnan has especially conducted sessions in the course, that how you have to pitch the services, how much fees you should be charging, how you should be talking to a client, from where you have to get a client. And recently, I was conducting two sessions, as Mustafa also said about one of the alumni. I conducted two sessions and I've uploaded on the portal also. One was with one of our past student and a very good friend, Usama Muchada. He runs his own firm named as Start It Up. And he was just like a normal guy. Like he just did ACC and then he shifted to UK, and his business is so good. Like if you will listen to his journey, when I was conducting his podcast, I myself started to get motivated, and I started to think that, oh, it seems like I'm wasting my life, and he has utilized his time in the best possible manner. And then one more podcast which I did was Mr. Jawad. He runs his own firm in Pakistan named as BPO, and it's doing a great work there. Like if you listen to him, his team, which is providing these outsourcing services, that team is of more than 50 people. It's performing great. It has a lot of clientele. So when I discussed with him, we conducted a podcast. I identified that, okay, there's a great opportunity out there for the students to go in the market. So
One thing, Wes,
yeah, please.
yes, one thing I would like to, sorry,
Yeah.
one question here student ask as well. And in my past 2, 3 years, many student ask this question, routine question. Sir, will we get an immediate job after this course? So my answer is, that if you do complete ACCA is like 3 to 3.5 years investment, or if you do ICW or if you do CFA, do you become CFO in first day? No, it's a complete journey. After ACCA, first you become a trainee, then you become after 1 year you become assistant supervisor, then assistant manager, then manager, senior manager, then you become CFO. So it's like a proper journey. Same is the case here. When you complete such courses, you first join a BPO firm. It's my advice, my personal advice, and my personal experience. Don't rush yourself or don't dive into the client directly, because first you need a basic training with a BPO firm. So if you work with a BPO firm like 6 months, or you will get some discipline, and with this, with the passage of time, you will have some contacts with the clients as well, and then you can pitch your services to the client. What do you say, Wes, about this?
I completely agree, and I always say that's see, okay, you have done ACCA, you have this practical filing course knowledge. The most important thing comes after that: how to communicate with the client, how to talk with the people. Like, see, when we are studying, when we are doing studies, we think ourselves like this. We understand that we know everything. The first day you go at the job, you identify that you are not this, you are this or below zero, because you even don't know what to say. Like, if I talk about my journey, like when I went to the corporate career, I was doing teaching, and obviously in teaching, it's a service sector, you are earning good. When I went for my first interview, like, I didn't have that much idea that I shouldn't be saying about my teaching earning. I'm sitting for an application, because obviously after ACC we have to do the corporate training. I'm talking about like 15 years back. So I'm sitting at the interview. He said that, what else you do? I said that I do teaching. And he said that, how much do you earn? Now I'm saying that I'm earning in six figures. And I'm applying for a trainee job in which the salary is like 25,000 PKR. So we don't know what to speak or what not to speak, because the interviewer will get an impression that if he's earning so good, he'll not stop at my organization. So that thing you learn when you go for the actual job. So I strictly suggest to everyone that do your freelancing activity, set up your own firm. But first, work sometime in an outsourcing firm. Give some time, like 6 months, 12 months. When you work there, you get an idea that, okay, if I get a client, how I have to deal with it. Otherwise, if you do not have a practical experience, I always say that even if you will get a client, you will lose that client. Like, you don't know how to handle it. And I believe that Afnan will also agree with it. And obviously, he's in UK. And see, when you deal with the UK clients, they are a bit different. Like, it's not those what we say as the desi clients. Those are a bit different. Like, if you are providing services to any desi guy, then maybe he'll work in that pattern. But when you're providing services to a different nationality, to those Western guys, it's a bit different. Afnan, if you can please also contribute.
I 100% agree. There's a different in a society. As when I used to be back home, I learned someone say the UK is a principle-based society. However, when you go in the US, it's a law and bit of book-based society. This is right, this is wrong. When you come in the UK, principle does matter. So when you talk about principle, it's so important how you deal with your client. He will stay with you. He will end up giving you more services. He will end up referring to different clients. But it depends the level of service you provide. Small example, like if you just sending an email, how much you're saying in that email and how you're portraying yourself. Never go lowballing, never say, oh, I'll do this for you. No, you have to add value and explain why will you do this for him. Like, it is important because he's important to you, like client is important to you. Hence, you're doing this as a favor to the client and you will not charge. So, and what the services add to the client is extremely important. The list of services are provided in the course, what you can provide to the client. There are multiple sort of services. The best thing I would say, next year, the level of services will increase. Because at the moment, the self-assessment returns are done annually. Next year, HMRC is planning to implement quarterly returns. So there will be more people coming every single quarter. So when you used to earn £250 per annum, you probably will earn £250 per quarter. because return needs to be submitted. If you don't submit a return, then you will be penalized from HMRC, and you don't want that. So people will be running after accountants who will not be able to cope up with this inflow, and hence these sort of services will be outsourced, like you said, to Pakistan and India. Um, I would say there are many people who are getting these sort of services in India. I know it because there's where I work, like where my firm is, right beside that firm, there's another firm, right? And there used to be 11 people in that firm. Now there are only two people in that firm, and both of them are the directors of that firm. What they do, they do face to the client, they explain the services to the client, help the client to come to the firm and sell those services, draft those engagement and etc. They know what to do because they've done it by themselves. But then they hand over these small nitty-gritty stuff like taxation. They do all sort of advisory stuff themselves, right? Because client, when he seeks advice and he gives a set of accounts, he wants to see someone in the UK, right? That adds so much value and credibility to the services you're already providing. And rest of the services, client have got no clue those services are done in India, right? And they are minting. When I say minting, there's a word called minting, that you just like ATM machine, and every single person who's coming in, you're just minting, 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 and you hitting all the deadlines. Client come in, pay you. So at the moment, he was telling me initially when he started, he couldn't quote client lower than £1,000 because he thought it's not worth the time he's spending. Now, after 5 years, when there is a lot of inflation and services have gone expensive, he's able to quote to the client £400 and still make significant amount of money from that client. So that's how much this BPO is important. Like if Swasan from here is outsourcing those services. So there is a huge market in India, Pakistan, Nepal, like the subcontinent. Are we ready to get that client? Are we ready to take those services? I think there was a huge element which was missing in this area, which we have tried to cover in the course.
Here I will completely
Afnan, I
agree.
agree. One
Yes,
thing,
please. Yes.
Wes, I agree with Afnan that this course is just a beginning. The learning is continuous. You know what Afnan just said, that there must be one representative in UK. And I made a video on how to get job in UAE. So in that video, I gave like eighth advice that buy a UAE number. And if you are even staying in Pakistan or India, you should talk to employer with that UAE number. So there will be impression in the mind of employer that you are in UAE, so you might get preference. So
Agree.
it's a continuous journey. Afnan, I agree.
I completely
100%.
agree. And here I want to refer one thing again in relation to one of the podcasts I was doing with Usama. I just asked him a question that, Usama, do really people outsource their accounts and tax work? So he said that, see, think like an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, you are not interested in making accounts. And in reality, accounts department is a cost center that is incurring cost. It's not generating any revenue. Like if I give you an example, Mirchawala Institute is teaching chartered accountancy for 15 years. We have trained thousands of accountants, and we do not do our accounts in-house. We have also outsourced our accounts department. Like we as an entrepreneur don't want to make the accounts because it's just a time waste. Like why will I make the accounts and not focus on my sales as an entrepreneur when I can outsource it? I'm talking as an entrepreneur. So every business out there in the market is looking for outsourcing. And as we talk about the globalization, the growing business of Amazon, the growing business of online activity, as the online businesses grow, the demand for the accountants will continue to grow. Because accountant is the only profession which do not require any equivalency. You become an ACCA, you go to UK, you go to US, you go to Europe, no equivalency. Like
You're
Afnan
chartered.
used to say me this, that ACCA is a global passport. Like
It is indeed.
it's recognized everywhere. You don't have to go and say that no, I want to give an like doctors need equivalency, engineer need an equivalency, but accountant either ACCA, ICAP, ICW, whatever you have done, you have studied international financial reporting standards, and those are acceptable globally. So there is no need of any equivalency. Now you just need to learn these practical skills, and then the most important skill, that how you have to make yourself saleable. Now, coming to that point, that how we have to get that client, like how we reach that market. See, if I give you an example, for example, if you want to sell a mobile phone, where will you sell it? You will go to a mobile market. It will sell easily. So you need to find that market. And normally, when we talk about these formal services, you find these things on LinkedIn. Now, many people ask that, sir, we are using LinkedIn for 10 years, we are not getting any job, we are not getting any client. So I say them, that, okay, open your LinkedIn profile and see what you are posting there. You are posting your birthday photos, you are posting your marriage photos, you are posting everything which is irrelevant for any employer. So now you need to learn using your LinkedIn. You need to find the right people. Like in LinkedIn, everyone has posted about their job, everything. Search. Like for example, if I want to provide services to Amazon-based clients who are in UK, search in LinkedIn that those who are doing job in those who are doing work of Amazon in a UK-based company, then send them a message. Okay, send them a connection. But please don't irritate them. Like if we Pakistanis start to become an irritation that, sir, what happened? Please update. Please. No, no. Make a list of 1,000 people, send them a message, send them your profile, use Fiverr, use Upwork. There are a lot of platforms, like even if we talk about e-commerce and Amazon, there are a lot of platforms on social media, on Facebook. When you will start to enter that market, obviously you will start getting things. But first, I'll completely agree with Mustafa that please don't go for freelancing directly. Like if you have that thing in mind that, okay, I'll take this course in 20 hours, and once that course ends, very next day, I'll be earning 5,000 pounds. Believe me, there is no such shortcut in the world. Like even if I talk about teaching, we did became that level teacher in few days. We all have a long journey. Like we all have these hairs gone doing this teaching activity. So it's a journey. It's the time which you invest. It cannot be done immediately. So go for a business process outsourcing firm. Now again a question, sir, how will I find an outsourcing firm? You have a laptop, you have LinkedIn, search outsourcing firms. Now, one important thing I want to add here. I recently came to UAE for some time, and it was a very new thing for me. I discussed with my friend. I said that there is one guy who is looking for a job. So he said that, okay, send him to me for internship. So I said that, what will you pay him? He said, I will not pay him anything. He will come at a zero salary. I'll say, why we will work for zero salary? He said, it's normal here that people work at zero salary for 9 months internship. It's very odd. He said that until and unless you will do that internship, why someone will accept you for job? Now going back to Pakistan, I had a Pakistani mindset. Students say that, sir, they are only paying us 10,000. They are only paying 15,000. See, that internship, that starting period is the investment you are making. Like if I talk about my teaching career, Mustafa will also agree that at the start, we used to request people that, okay, please study, please give some time, sit with us. But that is the journey. 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, your services become valuable, and then the tables turn. Then your position becomes strong. So this is how anything works. Think like a singer. If you are a singer, first you have to offer your services for free. At least familiarize people with your thing. And once it gets clicked, boom, any service sector. So, Mustafa, I would also like that if you can share some journey, your own journey or the journey of the individuals who have prospered in the service sector, how these students and see, nowadays people are in a too much rush that they want everything to be done now. That okay, course done, we need a job. Qualification done, we need a job. Yes, today's time is a time of great opportunity. But today's time is a time of a great competition also. Like when I look here in UAE, there are so many nationalities competing with each other. And then when I think about UK, that's a hub of competition. So you need to make yourself saleable, do some internships, gain experience also. Yes, Mustafa.
You are right. And back in 2004 or 2005, 6, I remember when I first joined a professional institute, like first 3 months, I didn't ask for the salary even. I didn't go to the principal room for salary. I said just I need to work. I need to work. So this and same is the journey of Subhan, Wes.
Yes, yes,
So my
agree.
brother Subhan Mirchawala, he also says the journey. He used to work for like 200 rupees per hour. Just think, it's a very low salary. But yes, once you proved yourself, then you can earn limitless. One thing I would like to add here, as many students are in this here from developing country, so let me share you statistics of Pakistan. Every year, like 30 lakh peoples, 30 lakh people come to the employment age. They get the employment age, but the jobs available in Pakistan, new jobs are 18 lakh. So 18 lakh are the new jobs, and the people ready to do the job is 30 lakh. So there is a deficit of 1200,000, 12 lakh jobs. So how will we cover this? BPO sector can cover this. That by providing services from here, we can cover this. So this is one point which you should note.
Apnan, since now you are in UK and you are actually dealing the clients,
Hmm.
like if an individual has done his chartered accountancy or any accountancy course, and along with that he has done his tax filing course, in your opinion, what should be a journey of a candidate and how much he should be expecting?
Okay, so I will start and I will second you both, right? So you have given me the examples of Pakistan that you work for free, right? It's no different than in the UK, right? When I came to UK about 16 years ago, my first job was in Toyota. In Toyota, I worked for 6 months as a corporate accountant doing filing and bank reconciliation. And they used to give me the money, which is £5 a day for my lunch, right? And I used to spend £11 to come to the job, right? So I was losing £6 on a daily basis. But however, after 6 months, I was able to find a job in the same company for much more higher amount. So if you input in the right direction, there's a return out there, right? And this course is a prime example where you need to input your efforts to make the money out of it, right? That's what we have made our best and done our best to provide you that skill set, that where to direct your power and force and how to get money out of it. That's one thing, right? The second thing, Wes mentioned a lot of the platforms. I can see a lot of the questions there, which says, how can I find a client, right? We'll come to it, but you need to come out of the box and come out of that unconventional thought process. Like there's only LinkedIn, there's only Facebook. No, there aren't. You won't believe the most business I get is from TikTok and Instagram, right? Can you believe it? It's not LinkedIn, it's not Facebook, it's not Fiverr or nothing. The most amount of queries I get is from silly TikTok and Instagram. That's what we do, right? We put £20 for a month. It pops up in that specific region. I live in Welwyn Hatfield, so it's a bit outside London. So I will target Welwyn Hatfield. So I know what businesses are out there, right? And people are able to afford. So I will target that area, but £20 is nothing. And every time they put on this phone, they will see my firm LPBS coming up. Now, they don't know what LPBS means. All they know, if they want to ever submit the accounts, the firm is around the corner, right? And this platform have given me immense comfort of getting the clients without even speaking to them. So always be ready to think outside the box, not just be within the box, because that's where the real market and opportunity of growth sits. With that, it's important in Pakistan and subcontinent when we speak, when we target, we spend so much time in one direction that we forget about other possibilities. So it's so important to be relevant when you're speaking to the client, when you're pitching, and it's so important to be reliable when you're pitching those services, that only pitch what you can provide and be relevant what the client needs. It will come with experience that what you need to publish. You don't need to. My firm offers like 360 services. We offer a lot of the services which you can see in Big Four, right? But not on that level. We're still making money. So recently, about 6 months ago, we were just sitting. This is a service which Big Four doesn't even provide, right? They don't provide. But I was sitting in the market, I saw the gap, and I jumped on that service. And that is the most like star service of my business. If you have studied BCG metrics, that is my star service. I'll tell you what that service is. So when a client comes to you, he comes to you with normal conventional stuff. Can you submit my filing? Can you do my self-assessment? Can you do my VAT returns? Can you see what's happening with HMRC and all these services, secretarial services, and etc. But then they came to me for payroll. Now, payroll is the least amount of service, right, in accountancy firm because we charge £15 or £25 per employee to run their payroll, provide them pay slips, and etc. But then HMRC and Companies House is strict on compliance area, right? When you're holding an employee, you need to make sure that employee have got valid passport, valid visas, valid contracts, and all the things are done and sorted. Now the sole trader haven't got enough capacity or don't have enough mind to deal with these things, right? I got myself out, got the software on a very minimum price who does this for me, right? I told client and pitched it, I will do this for you. We are providing you payslip. All you have to do is give me the employee passport and visa credentials. Next time, if you want to hire someone, fire someone, we will make the documentation. All I do is go on that software, write the name of the company. It prints the software, it prints the layout for me, and I send it across. And that's a subscription service. Client pays me £150 per month for a service. And how many times he's hiring or firing an employee? Once a year. And I made the money out of it, right? So there's a gap in the market, right? And I identified that gap. But you can only provide this sort of service when you mastered the other services to the existing client, right? So I've been relevant and I went step by step. Same goes for in Pakistan market, like how you can acquire a client, as I said, TikTok and etc. But coming out of this course, it's not a license that you can provide the services straight out in the market and you come up with the guns and you've got bazookas like that's it, I'm ready now, I'll punch it. It doesn't work like this in real world, right? You have to start from, okay, I will start my self-assessment service, right? I will not touch anything else. For that first 3 months, you gather the client of self-assessment, all taxi drivers, right? There are thousands of millions of taxi drivers in the UK, all do self-assessment. You provide them a better low-balling rate, like I will do it for you. If somebody's doing for 250, I'll do it for £200, right? Do it. A simple set of self-assessment, right? You could ever dream of. They provide you invoices. They provide you the number. You pick up the invoice, put in the damn software. It spits out the data for you and submit it. It's all on that software we taught, right? It's a 5 minutes job and you will get your £200, right? That's what you need to target. And imagine if you've got 50 of those clients in your books, you've made your money for the annual income, right? Now you need to target the other service. It's a step by step, and potential is immense out there. I don't believe if somebody says, I don't have client, you're doing something wrong. If a person like me who doesn't give 100% to the business, I'm too much focused on other elements of my business, which I'm doing now, I get client ads automatically. Sometimes you have to send them back. So you can do as well. It's really easy.
So I'll completely agree with all of those things. And the most important thing which I emphasize is that see those students, especially who have done doing ACCA, they have studied TX or ATX courses. See, you have crossed the 90% of the journey. Like you know the entire taxation. And I'll say that see, a normal tax advisor who hasn't done advanced taxation or the skills module taxation knows 10% of what you know. Like you have studied the chartered accountancy taxation, that is the highest thing. Now you just need to learn that practical filing aspect, and obviously your recognition and acceptance will increase a lot. But see, the most important thing is that you don't have to rush in your practical life. You need to give time. That's a journey. See, life is not a sprint. It's not a 100-meter sprint that you run, and it's a journey. In the journey, you have to pass through. Like, okay, you try to get some clients freelancing. Some people immediately get the client. They have their own luck, but they do not apply on everyone. What you need to understand is that you have done the course. Now go for some job in an outsourcing firm. And here I will highlight something. See, these outsourcing firms, they are earning in pounds. They are earning good money. So they can obviously pay good amount of money to their employees also, to their trainees also. Like for example, if I am a Pakistan-based firm providing services to a Pakistani client, he's crying in paying me money in PKR. So how will I pay to my employee? But if I'm an outsourcing firm, even if you look at the situation, Ernst and Young, EY, it's MENA region through which they provide outsourcing services to entire that Gulf region. They pay good to the trainees as compared to the trainees who are working in the local region because they are earning good, so they can pay good also. So go for some outsourcing service work, work at a firm, like spend 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year, and then you have that expertise to work on your own. And you can find a lot of services since with the growth of e-commerce, there are a lot of businesses who want to create their presence in UK. Like for example, just think about a situation. If you are doing e-commerce, or just think about a normal store selling things, you go them and say that, okay, I'll create your Amazon account, I'll register your company, I'll look after your corporate taxes, I'll look after your VAT services, and I'll be charging this much of the amount. And if he's convinced on the business he will be getting, so obviously, if you look at it, he will be willing to outsource those services rather than getting himself involved. Like, see, when I talk about the market of the UAE, which is very small as compared to the UK market, here there are around 1 million businesses registered. So all of those 1 million businesses have to file their corporate taxes. And for the registration of the things and the filing, it is just simple steps which you have to perform on the software, and people charge like 500 dirhams, 400 dirhams for a registration which takes hardly 5 minutes. And even if I talk about UK, registering a company on the company's house portal, it will hardly take 5 minutes. And someone would be more than willing to pay you at least 100 pounds for that. If you convert it in PKR, that's a complete month's salary of a trainee, or that's a complete cost of the course which you study. So now, once you have taken these skills, the next step is to have some patience and learn to provide these services. See, Mirchawala Institute has always played its role in training the candidates, because I particularly feel very bad when a student says that, sir, we are not able to earn that much money. The firm is paying very less. So our US tax filing course has benefited students a lot. Our UK tax filing course, we recently launched UAE tax filing course. Now we are in pipeline to launch Saudi Arab tax filing course. So all of these things will help you a lot to increase your chances to become employable, and always think like an employer. You want to hire a candidate which is a complete package. And that complete package is the qualification, practical skill, and then some experience. And for that experience, believe me, if you have to pay someone that, okay, take some money and keep me in your firm for 6 months or 9 months and just give me an experience later, believe me, pay him. But get that practical experience, that is very important. So now let's bring towards the closing of this session. Mustafa, I'll request you that if you want to share any closing comments or any guidance for the students, and then we'll move towards the
I
closing.
forgot one thing to tell, that when you were talking about your history, I also want to share, Wes, if you remember, I used to make these short videos on
Yes.
Facebook and LinkedIn in 2018. So at the beginning, there were very less views. And I used to request my friend circle to share it and to comment it. Remember?
Agreed, agreed.
So the starting is always low, and starting, and this journey goes slowly, 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 and once you click, you become the master. So follow this thing, don't go for shortcuts. And you guys are lucky. When we were a student, like 20 years back or 25 years back, we I think there was no social media, there was no such awareness sessions, there was no such marketing. I think I would say that now you are studying from teachers, they post routine positions, world top, Pakistan top, these positions. So it's a motivation for you that your hands in the right person's hand. So stay motivated, work hard, and get benefit from these things.
Apran, please, if you can share some
Yes.
closing.
Yeah. Before I share my closing remark, I would like to answer two questions which are important, I think. One of the candidate asked participants that, do you need to be a qualified accountant to provide these services? The answer is no, right? You can literally do this course when you've done your F1. Do you still call it F1 or FIA? I'm not sure. What, whenever the start is, you can literally get into getting the course and have that skill set and start the services, right? You will still be called an accountant in our industry when you start giving these services out. The second question was about the charity. I personally, my firm doesn't deal with the charity accounts. The reason why it doesn't deal with charity accounts, because a lot of scrutiny on those accounts, the charity commission, when you do these accounts, they might come to you, audit you, and etc. Charity not necessarily does pay you a lot of money to do their accounts, and it's a lot complicated because there's a lot of donations in charity. So I don't deal with it. At this stage, I wouldn't advise anyone to deal with the charity accounts because you need to have specialized knowledge to deal with it. However, there are bigger markets for non-charitable accounts. So get there, and they're willing to pay that money you require. The third one, which I saw here, the course does include the guidance on how to acquire the client, how to speak to the client, and at what level, what sort of a client, and what the for specific service to the client. It includes every single detail you guys have asked here. In my closing remarks, I would say that it's 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 not important that what you have studied, right? I know it's important at certain age and area when you're going out and looking out for a job. When you want to have an extra hand for income or an extra idea for income, you just need to be sharp enough that do I have that skill set? Can I convert that skill set into a dollar value?
This is my plan.
Yes, you can because we have provided you enough sufficient knowledge, right? How will we support in this is Wes, I think, have got an idea to after sales support where you've got a group where people can ask questions when they've got live clients. Or if they've got multiple questions, then Wes suggested that we should do a live podcast for the students who have enrolled in this course and answer those questions there. So everyone else who have not come across these problems in the life example can also listen and understand and get the understanding from those answers. So there is a great level of support designed in this course from Wes. I think you should ask him. He have got great ideas for that, and I've already got a lot of questions from different students. I think I got a message from a student from Spain the other day. She was asking that should I do this? The most important one, will you be able to get a job? I know this for sure. If you don't have the knowledge, definitely not, right? 100% not. But I can guarantee if you've got a knowledge, everyone who is employed in my firm I didn't have the experience, but they did have the knowledge of how to close a set of accounts. So I sat with them for about a week or two. It's end of the day software, and they will teach you how to go about to a software. You just need to know how to have that judgment sense. Oh, this is self-assessment. This cost will be treated as this, and this will be submitted like this. If you know that 20% employer is willing to give you 75%, as he know that if he goes to the UK market for the same person, he have to pay £3,000 per month. But if he hire, he might be ending up paying £1,800, £1,500, or £2,000. So he's saving money. To save money, he's willing to spend that time to teach you the skill gap you have got and the knowledge gap you've got. So, but you need to show that you've got something in hand, right? He will not teach you like Owais teaches in ATX. I've seen him. He just spoon feeds everyone, take this. If you put this much money, this is what your tax will be. Unfortunately, in professional life, it doesn't work like this. They want you to have that knowledge. And I would say wait, and be patient, have the skill set. It's no point of ACCA is a gun, right? But these small courses is like a bullet which allows you to fire that gun. If you don't have the skill set of the like small courses, like
Excellent.
you've got like Excel, knowledge of Excel, and knowledge of this course, right? How to text file and etc. Then that gun is just a gun. You can't really do it, so you can probably throw it away, but you can't fire it. So these small courses will help you to load that gun up and fire in this global environment and earn the money out of it. That's it from my side.
Afnan, one student is very much interested in knowing the name of your firm.
Oh,
Maybe,
my firm is LPBS.
okay. So
Like
someone who,
HSBC, we've gone LPBS.
So
I've got 4 or 5 firms, but this is one of
basically,
them.
maybe he wants to take some
Wes,
services.
I would like you to share the idea of our services relating to the jobs of student, that what Mirchawala Institute is doing it now it on a formal level, because globally we travel, we connect to the employers, we connect to local employers, as well as we invite audit firm partners. So I would like you to share something related to our this department.
For the placement cell.
Yes, placement,
Yeah,
sir.
Mirchawala Institute has formally announced also one department that's for the career placement of the students. And informally, we have been doing it always, like we have been connecting the students with the employers also. And now this our placement cell will be working globally. And we will be basically looking for a community in which an alumni of Mirchawala since the last 15 years working in a lot of organizations connecting with the current candidates. And in view of that, we do meetups in a lot of countries. We have done meetups in UK, Nepal, UAE, in like a lot of countries, in Nepal and in Saudi, in Kuwait. So in all of those meetups, the objective is to connect that alumni with the current students so that they get the job opportunities. And regularly at Mirchawala Institute, we have sessions done by audit partners, the corporate guys. The objective is to create the maximum possible employment opportunities. And if I talk about this course specifically, I have created one specific section in which I'm having discussion with the employers. And I always ask them that, okay, if one guy has done our course, will you consider him for the position? So they've always said that, okay, those who got the certificate, they can connect with us and we look if there is any opportunity available. So yes, Mirchala Institute has always been working, and always we make our best that a student becomes employable. Now, if I move towards the closing of the session, I'll completely agree with the two important things that Afnan said, that if a student says that, sir, will I get a job? Yes, this course will increase the possibility of getting a job. And if you don't have a skill set, then it's sure that you are not getting a job. Like when you do a qualification, when you get a skill set, that increases the possibility by a lot of extent. And secondly, these practical courses are the tool to implement the knowledge whatever you have studied, but always understand that you become a part of a journey. Okay, you are not living for 2 days that you get a client, you earn some money, put in a pocket and go. You are a part of journey, and that journey starts with the knowledge, with the skill set, then moving towards the firm, taking some experience, and then starting to think about your own work. So I hope that this session have added a value. I have tried to answer a lot of queries of the individuals on this chat box, but those who were not able, I was not able to answer them, or those who were not able to attend this session live, if they have any query, you can connect with me on WhatsApp. My number is +92 345 8099 831. Mustafa's number is +92 300 2 555 744. And I'll share Afnan number also. We are used to deal with the student queries, but now I want that you guys message a lot to Afnan also. Afnan, shall I share it?
It's on the course itself. So, but you have
So
made the
his
group
number is
anyway.
+44 7745 956 900. So you can connect with us if you want to ask anything about the enrollment, the process, the fees. You can visit our website admissions.mirchawala.com. There you can find courses about these, all the practical filings. And I say that along with these taxation courses, you guys should always consider about the accounting courses if you are not a chartered accountant background, because the tax return starts with the value of the profit, and that value is calculated through IS and IFRS. So if you are from ACC or CA background, then obviously you have that knowledge. If you don't are, if you aren't from ACC or CA background, then maybe you can look for some short courses which are in relation to IFRS diploma. We have those courses for the accounting. If you're looking for a complete qualification, obviously Mirchawala Institute is a platinum approved learning provider of ACCA. For these taxation and short courses, there are a lot of courses in relation to taxation, financial modeling, QuickBooks, and everything. So thank you everyone for remaining connected with us throughout the session. And it was a very good thing that all the participants were retained throughout the session, which means that our discussion was interesting and that has helped you guys. Thank you, Mustafa, for taking out time. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Afnan, for taking out time. And if you
Okay.
guys have any query, feel free to contact us. Our numbers are available on the social media also. You can search through our names also. I have told about the numbers also. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.